you have chronic fatigue, this video is for you. We're going to go through Bill's story and how he has dealt with chronic fatigue for the last 2 years. How he started off terrible, but how he's drastically reduced his symptoms to the extent that he can now do a skydive. In other videos, we will go into the depths of chronic fatigue and how you can use different techniques and alter your lifestyle in order to reduce your symptoms too. So how did it start?
So the first time I got any symptoms at all was at after a family party. So I went to a party and when I got home I felt so tired, but a different type of tired. It was really head foggy and confused. So I thought, I'm really tired, I've had a long day, put myself to sleep and I was quite stressed at that party anyway. Yeah. So I thought, I'm a bit stressed out, I'm gonna go to sleep. And I woke up the next day, the party was on a Friday, and so I woke up the next day quite good, not too bad, so that was the end of it. And then throughout that weekend, I started to get...
A bit more tired than usual, weren't you?
Yeah, throughout that weekend I started getting symptoms on and off, so, you know, on the Saturday I would get some symptoms, then they'd go, and then I'd come back. But around that time I was doing an evening job, working in a bar, so I was working that Saturday night, and that night I, again, very tired. So I had to leave early and go home, again, put myself to sleep. So like I said, this was happening over a weekend, and then on the Monday, I was due to start a new job. Again, a stressful situation.
Yeah.
For where I was at that time in my life, that was quite stressful for me. I was probably a bit nervous, I was younger, new job, I wanted it to go well.
This was a very stressful period for him overall because he had a new job coming up, and before this new job he had 5 job interviews in 2 days.
Yeah, it was 5 in 2 days.
Yeah, and you was having to travel like 2.5 hours to one of them and stuff, weren't you?
Yeah,
2.5 hours to one of them, and
yeah.
And before that, he's obviously ringing up, putting his CV in, really trying to get a new job. So it's overall very stressful period for him.
Yeah.
And then Monday, he turns up to this new job, which he was hoping was the future.
Yeah, done well to get the job actually. Tried hard, this was the one I wanted as well, and I got it. Wanted things to go well, turned up, the symptoms were the worst they've ever been now. So this Monday morning was terrible. I lasted an hour?
Yeah, you did.
1 hour, and I had to
That's when you messaged me, weren't it?
Yeah, and I had to get picked up from this job placement and go straight to the hospital because I didn't know what was happening to me. There's tired and then there's chronic fatigue, and if you have chronic fatigue, you know this isn't just feeling tired. So yeah, now I'm on the way to hospital and I have blood tests, heart scans, and yeah, that was it for that, for the first sort of day. Obviously, you're watching this with chronic fatigue, they all come back absolutely fine, don't they? There's nothing wrong with you. You're lying.
It's all in your head.
You
just want time off work, you're lazy. That's at least what you get told. And you will get told that.
And when you panic with chronic fatigue, which is a natural thing to do because you have no idea what's happening to you, the symptoms get so much worse. You're creating them 10 times worse.
So the feeling of being lost, the feeling of the stress.
Yeah.
Stress is usually a huge factor which can bring it on in the first place.
Yes.
So the stress state you put yourself in when the symptoms start coming, enhance them tenfold.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's so true. Obviously, I'm not in a state anymore to return to that job for the time being, so he put the job on hold for me, so that was all good. So the day after, I've gone to the doctors because the hospital said there's nothing wrong with me. So I woke up, I'm adamant there is. The doctor will find out what it is. I've gone there and he's told me you've got chronic fatigue syndrome. And I'm in denial because I've never heard of this. I'm like,
what is this?
Chronic fatigue.
Monstrosity.
There's nothing.
Yeah. Is there a pill for it?
Yeah. Give me the tablets.
Yeah,
give me the tablets.
That's what you need.
There's no tablets. So
he also said it was chronic and that he couldn't help it, didn't he?
Yeah, he's just said that there's no. Basically, I will have it forever, and this is me now. I'm done. So yeah, as you can tell, I'm stressed out, and that really helped me out. I felt good.
As you can see,
I felt good.
this guy here is
Finished.
Yeah, he's done. No life left.
So now the next stage was for me to go private. The NHS are not giving me what I need, so I'm having brain scans, private brain scans, because I'm intoxicated. I can't focus, I can't function. There's something wrong with my brain. I have private consultations with different doctors and brain scan, only to get more blood tests and the brain scans come back fine.
Even more of the same tests that he had prior, and well, he came back fine, nothing wrong with him, after waiting about 3 months for the results. So he's paid the money, he's waiting for the results, put himself in even more of a stressed state.
Yeah. So just the reason for this video series is for you obviously watching, just so you can relate to this, because I'm sure you're going to be watching this, and this is to show you that there's people with chronic fatigue that are close to you, in the same country as you, maybe in the same county, wherever. With it, there's help out there and there is hope, because I'm an example that hopefully I can give you a bit of hope, and we feel that it's a duty for us to basically help you, and
It's been a grind, hasn't it?
make some videos so you can return back to your normal state of health.
It's been a grind for him. He had to get a job that he was trying to avoid before. The people at the job were saying, "You're lazy, get out the van," all stuff like that.
There's no
saying that he's just because physically you look fine, and because you haven't got like blood coming out your eyes, and like you haven't got a monstrous cough or anything like that. Yeah. Because you physically look okay, although you might look a bit depleted, people will say that you're just being lazy.
Yeah, you won't get any sympathy from people.
No.
It's hard for people to relate, because obviously, like Danny just said,
and people haven't heard of chronic fatigue either. So a lot of them are too ignorant to even search up in the first place, and if they do, they think you're a nutter.
Yeah.
But fast forward 6 months, holiday, wasn't it?
We went on a trip to the Philippines, a 5-week trip where Mr. Chronic Fatigue
he went out the window. Apart from in 5 weeks he had one bad day.
Yeah, the little wobble.
Yeah, but nothing compared to before. It was like mild symptoms compared to what you had prior to that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Prior to this trip is when we really started to get into our spirituality and looking within ourselves for health and things like that. So going into this trip, we already had more of the knowledge.
That is a very good point, actually, because with chronic fatigue, there's no external help. You can't find pills and stuff. So this is a great example of your body wanting you to go within yourself and find true health from yourself, because your body will heal itself. And that's obviously what we started to do prior to this trip. Yeah, in this trip, leading up to, like we said, I started to make more effort to heal myself without being a victim and hoping that somebody's going to come up with a magic potion. So the trip was sort of like the icing on the cake, where I got myself in a good environment. I released all stressors because I'm in a great state of mind every day. And I managed to calm my stress down to the point where we was doing the skydives and scuba dives. And scuba dives is a special thing.
Yeah, scuba dive is a special thing because prior to this trip, Bill just started swimming lessons. so he's just started swimming lessons. And then the next thing, he's 10 metres underwater with a scuba kit on him.
Michael Phelps.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the whole purpose of us saying this is the fact that Mr. Stress over here is 10 metres under with sharks not being able to swim.
Yeah.
If you can get to that level of, release stress to that extent, you're doing something right. And this is what we will be going through in this series, how you can do this. So this happened November 2014 was when I first got my symptoms. And as far as I was aware, nothing was getting better anytime soon, and my life was pretty much done. It's so hard to think any positives. You just feel finished. But that's just in your head because things can change so quickly for you. I'm not any different to you. We're made of the same things.
As a human being.
Yeah, and you can do exactly the same. You can get better, and
a huge obstacle is getting over being a victim, isn't it?
Yeah,
because
you never get.
No one can do anything to help you with this, as far as we're aware so far in the world. You yourself have to look within yourself.
Yes.
Your reward is being healthy, being able to go and enjoy your life, being able to go into a public place without crazy symptoms coming over you, the brain fog, the confusion, whatever it may be, whatever your symptoms are, you will be able to go and do your everyday tasks. Which is another thing actually, because as Bill was getting better, his symptoms would greatly reduce, but then he would think, I'm fine, but then he'd go into a stress situation like go up the gym and go for a hard run, or go into a public place where it's busy and everyone's like rushing about for their shopping, and then boom, the symptoms hit him. He goes back into his chronic fatigue state.
You fear again, they're back.
Feeds it.
And the reality is, it's just your body wants you to do something different for that very small period of time, and then it'll go back to being itself.
Yeah.
But one thing I want to quickly touch on is that if you're watching this still with a bit of a victim mentality, you will think, I wasn't as bad as you. When the reality is, I had to stop work for 3 months, didn't do anything, I stayed in my house. That's the wrong thing to do, by the way, but that's all I knew. I didn't go to the gym for 6 months.
Very long time.
Yeah, very long time, and we were going to the gym every day. And couldn't go to the gym. Wouldn't go in any public places, was horrified of a public place. So I had to stop my whole life because, you know, I was, like I said, I thought it was over.
So that's Bill's chronic fatigue story and what he's been dealing with for the last few years. We're now going to end with some clips of Bill enjoying himself with complete reduced symptoms in the Philippines.
Enjoy!